Hi guys, this is Breaker and I'm back with a replay that I took from drop.sc between our red Zerg in the upper left hand corner, Rivaille, and between our blue Zerg in the lower right hand corner by the name of Clairvoyance. The map that we are on right now is Star Station LE, or so I would imagine, considering they are both playing as standard ladder colors, and right now I beg your forgiveness if I call something out wrong or if I don't see something clearly, because there's a huge glare on my monitor from the sun shining in on it. Unfortunately, my computer's desktop is right next to a window in my room, but yeah. Well, for now it looks like we're gonna have Clairvoyance going with a bit of a 7-pool-ish opener. Wait a minute, am I reading this right? I am. Now, I want you all to forgive me if my voice sounds just a little bit weird today. It's not my voice that's screwed up. Instead, it's my jaw's alignment. Long story short, I cannot close the left side of my mouth. Like I can't get my teeth to touch from the top left row to the bottom left row on the left side of my mouth, if that makes sense. But you know, let's go ahead and get a look and see how this very early pool is going to go down for Clairvoyance. He's also going for an extractor, but I think he's trying to do an extractor trick with that, yes, or so it would appear. And I'm thinking he's not really going to overcommit to that, but maybe I'm wrong. He's going to try and get 8 lings out. His aim here is not so much to kill all of his opponent's drones as it is to just get himself a lead, and then, that's what I'm looking for. Go ahead and, you know, start resuming his own drone production thereafter. But for now, it looks like Rivaille actually went for a 15 pool, 15 hatch opener. So that means once this Overlord gets out, it's going to be able to see these Zerglings moving out. And the question is, how will he be able, like, what's he going to be able to do after that? Okay, now the Overlord has already arrived here, and that should basically signal to our blue Zerg that his opponent isn't up there. Why did they split them up? Not only that, I mean, well, that was just a huge blunder on my part calling that out. Everybody who's been playing on the ladder this season knows that this map is actually forced cross-position spawns. It's been around since the beta, too, so it's been around for a while. Now, Rivaille's going to go ahead and throw down a spine crawler. He's probably going to wait until the last minute to actually cancel his hatchery here at the natural. You know, I just don't see him being able to hold this. There's 6 lings on the way right now, yes. But there are already 8, if not 10. 8, yes, tackling that drone at the natural. And ooh, it looks like the drone amazingly will get away from that. Yes, the mineral patch click trick, if you will. Just amazingly executed. But behind all this, speaking of execution, I think Clairvoyance could be staring down the neck of his, as he is actually, ooh. He did get 1 worker in all this, but ouch, 2 maybe. Yes, 2 to this point. But overall, he didn't do game-ending damage to his opponent, and Rivaille is actually ahead a little bit in this regard simply by tech factors. If you examine what he's got, he's getting metabolic boost right now, and we actually don't have metabolic boost available for our blue Zerg Clairvoyance presently. So it doesn't really, I don't think we're going to need to see a superior ling count from Rivaille to actually win over his Zerg opponent's count, but ouch, that's going to be a nice little pickoff for Clairvoyance. If he can get it, the queen! Oh, unfortunately, it does fall. And that's going to give our blue Zerg a slight production lead for the time being, even though Rivaille is going to have a metabolic boost lead. Okay, so for the time being, it looks like we're going to have Rivaille trying to push back on his opponent. He's got about 50 seconds to go until metabolic boost is finished. And he's actually gone ahead and thrown down his Baneling Nest. That might be a little bit much in the way of an overcommitment. Maybe not. But this 1 queen out here at the natural, it's going to be able to help wall things off just a little bit better. And this many lings is not going to get past, I mean, even this many in the way of speedlings is not going to get past this many slowlings, if you will. But of course, we have a huge tech advantage here from Rivaille. He's just got to be able to realize that, back off, maybe not do an all-in of some sort, but, you know, wisely enough, he's actually going to go ahead and throw down his, if you will, his second hatchery. He forces his opponent into cranking out a bunch of lings, so that's actually some larvae that didn't get spent on drones. And for now, we actually see Rivaille with, I wouldn't say too many speedlings. You can almost never have too many speedlings unless your opponent has a pure baneling composition. But, you know, overall, the window of opportunity he has to actually send 1 or 2 banelings in and do damage is kind of coming to a close, coming to a draw, if you will. Banely Nest has actually been finished for a while now for Rivaille. For Clairvoyance, it hasn't been just yet. And now we have a second queen out at the natural. This one's going to help to spread creep, not so much really with injects. Maybe it'll come in handy for when that macro hatch goes down later on in the game, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Right now, we've got about 8 lings in production for Rivaille, or excuse me, for Clairvoyance, so this is actually, I think, more than the ideal time for Rivaille to just run back home. But interestingly enough, hold on just a minute, is there something that I'm missing? We actually don't have metabolic boost here for Clairvoyance just yet. So basically anything that gets used against him in the near future might be a total waste, and this is actually pretty shocking, really. I mean, given the stage of the game that we're in and seeing that Clairvoyance has not decided to... I mean, he went for his Banely Nest, sure enough, but he hasn't gotten metabolic boost yet. He's going for evolution chambers right now. And question is, what's he going to spend that on? Because right now there's no other tech to go with it. It could be, you know, +1 Carapace, it could be +1 missiles, it could be basically anything at this point is what I'd give weight to. The Overlord coming in here does spot the Banely Nest. And it looks like one Baneling got thrown away on a ton of speedlings there. But overall, I think Rivaille is not too far behind in the way of losses. Yes, he does have a huge, huge combat supply deficit, and he's going to be able to kill this little group of lings, no problem. But of course, it's this group over here that's the more important figure, if you will. It looks like he's actually running straight past those, and he could actually get into the main potentially, considering there are no defensive banelings back here. And this is the biggest problem that we see for Rivaille. His opponent, Clairvoyance, is just going to send a bunch of slow lings at him, interestingly enough. And metabolic boost finishes just as he gets to the natural, his opponent. And Rivaille says, welp, welp, welp. And he's pulling back his lings. He's got more in production, I'm sure. Yes, 20-something of them. He's got his Spire almost done, but at the same time, he's lost so much in the way of Zerglings, and not Zerglings, but rather drones. And yeah, oh man. This is really bad. Clairvoyance is going to get a huge lead with these two Banelings morphing right here, but it does look like Rivaille catches on to that. And he's like, nope, I'm not going to let that finish up. But finally, it looks like Rivaille has found an opportunity to stabilize, but, you know, after the losses he sustained, I don't see that happening too well, or happening too easily, to say the very least. Alright, so back at home, Rivaille, or Clairvoyance, just kind of building up the numbers. He's got the opportunity, and not only the opportunity, but I feel the hegemony to go ahead and put a third down. In the context of ZVZ, putting a third down can be just as difficult as, say, ZVP. And it looks like we're going to have Clairvoyance sending these lings around, and he's finally caught on to his opponent's mutas, actually taking down Overlords, kind of one at a time, if you will. And just as one queen finishes up an inject, it gets sniped. And the mutas here are coming in to get everything they can out of it. Ouch. I mean, that was pretty bad. And by it, I actually meant the natural there. Taking everything out of it that they could. Right now, we got nothing in production from Rivaille because, of course, he's supply blocked. Not even an Overlord. He can make one drone, and he's now making 3, I think. And some of it of a panic. He's got to be feeling, you know, more than just shaken up after suffering now what appears to be 2 ling run-bys. And he's gonna cause his opponent to get supply blocked in return. This is actually something that can bring Rivaille back in the game. If he can drone up, if he can kill a good deal of Overlords, cause his opponent to get further supply blocked, then he'll be further ahead. But as it is now, he has a tech lead, as we only just now see Clairvoyance's natural finishing up. The Queen's acting as a kind of stiff form of anti-air, if you will, and the ling that was on this Xel'Naga Watchtower was just removed from the map. Looks like we do have a bit of a flustered Rivaille trying to hold his ground here. And he actually does kind of scare away those Zerglings for the time being, and I think maybe just perhaps these mutas are transitional. Perhaps. No, wait, he's added on more. The biggest problem is trying to make them count, really trying to make them work. And not too many people can do that. I mean, as something for an all-in tool, it can work if your opponent's going mass muta too, and that looks like it seems to be Clairvoyance's line of thinking right now. And I think Rivaille's got a huge opportunity to return some damage. He's got, you know, you could probably take down that third because it's not a transfusible structure since it didn't finish. It hasn't finished being built. But just, well, one Spore Crawler coming over here and just landing there. And I think in terms of income, right now, of course, we do have a firm lead by Clairvoyance. I think what we can see now in the near future from Rivaille is actually a huge window of opportunity to throw down his own third. Get the worker count back up and things of that nature. I'd say in this position, with the position that we see Rivaille in, it's more than optimal to go ahead and just oversaturate, if you will, on one of the bases. Much in the way a Zerg, or not the way a Zerg, but the way a Protoss would do if he was trying to oversaturate and then take an Expo. But now we have +1 melee, +1 Carapace on the way for Rivaille. And I'm a little interested. Wait a minute. We have double evolution chambers here for Clairvoyance, but he hasn't gotten any upgrades whatsoever for his Lings. And I'd just like to say, thank God that glare is gone. I can see so much more clearly now, but, you know, clouds, they only last so long. Oh, boy. So, drone's now moving to the third to throw down the extractors. And we have mutas out on the map now for Clairvoyance as well. His Spire's been done for a significant amount of time. But, oh my god, these mutas swinging right by each other. They did take down the Ling that was on the Xel'Naga Watchtower, which means it's basically a trip mine. If he can just keep his third alive now, he'll be good to go. He's got the superior muta count. The question is where the upgrade's at. His opponent's actually getting +1 Flyer Carapace first. And I like this move by Rivaille. He waited to see just what his opponent's lair tech would be before he decided to upgrade anything. But this is going to put Clairvoyance ahead with his +1 Carapace upgrades. If nothing else, +1 Carapace will actually help defend your mutas. And speaking of defense, this is something a little bit lousy coming from Clairvoyance, as we do see all of these Lings that actually managed to conduct a bit of a run by. They got a few kills, only 3 drone kills, excuse me. But the mutas now, Rivaille's got to be extremely careful because he did throw away a bunch of Lings just now. He didn't get the most effective exchanges. He wasn't able to kill a bunch of his opponent's Lings, and he's got to be essentially careful with the exchanges here in the near future. His opponent, yes, while he does have like a slightly lower mutalist count right now, it's got a huge opportunity to skyrocket simply given the fact that he's got a higher gas income. Look at this. If Rivaille doesn't open his eyes and see, oh wait, derp, I forgot to put 2 extractors down on my third, then he could be in a lot of trouble really, really soon, especially with these Lings coming in to really, really wreck house. Rivaille trying to hold his ground, but it looks, things are looking pretty grim right now as there aren't enough Lings to hold this attack. We're going to have to see the mutas get pulled back defensively. And speaking of mutas, these blue ones by Clairvoyance are going to try and put some damage on the third. Remember, they already have +1 Carapace. +1 Flyer Carapace, but the red mutas here are going to successfully separate them, take them down. But there's, oh my god, there's still a couple of Lings in every which direction around Rivaille's base that are dealing out a lot of damage. Clairvoyance now looking like he's ready to conduct a huge run-by, and it's going to be in the form of Lings. There are no Banelings at home for Rivaille, but he's also got superior upgrades for his ground units. Here they are. It's going into effect right now, I think, with this little engagement here. We actually have 0/0 Lings going up against +1/+1 Lings, and that's going to be +2/+2 Lings pretty soon. But Flyer Carapace level 2 is already on the way for Clairvoyance. But I also need to highlight the fact that he's not got anything on the ground to really combat these Lings. He's going to have to pull back mutas, I feel. Right now, Rivaille, sure, he's got a little bit of a run by going down at the third and the natural at the same time, but ouch, he's got superior upgrades. He's going to have superior upgrades in the near future, too. But the drone count in the main is absolutely decrepit for Rivaille. The Spire is being targeted down. If that falls, then we won't see any more muta production, but all these mutas are already cornered, and I think that Clairvoyance is going to take a lot in the way of damage here, and more than just mutas. Like, this means all future muta versus muta engagements are going to be basically stubbed in the near future. Oh, man. And look at that. Only 6 mutas remaining. 13 mutas, 16 mutas altogether to the 24 of our red Zerg. Clairvoyance slightly ahead in all of this. And I mean, blow for blow, I think we have to see Rivaille realize, oh snap, I'm in a really bad position right now, but I've got superior ground upgrades. I'm gonna have to use that to my advantage. Of course, with the +2/+2, that's gonna be like Rambo Lings versus weaklings, if you will. Like, weaklings, lol. I guess you could call those. You know, we gotta start thinking of different terms to call lings. We got slowlings, we got emo lords, we got speedlings, we got cracklings with the 3-3. But, you know what? Zerglings versus, Zerglings with no upgrades versus, Zerglings with +2/+2. We're gonna call those weaklings from now on. But the superior Mutalisk count is again in favor of, Rivaille. Unfortunately, it looks like a small ball of them got separated. And, right now, I just wish we had Rivaille able to open his eyes and say, hey, wait a minute, I can crush that 1v1. So I should chase him down and try and snipe a Muta here and there every chance I get. But right now it's looking like Clairvoyance's Muta numbers are going to continue to grow here in the future. There's a bit of a misclick here. I forgot to put all of these on the same hotkey. And it's a little bit difficult to say who's in the lead, but upgrade-wise, it's definitely Clairvoyance because he's got the +2 Flyer Carapace for his own Mutas. And I'm wondering how well that would scale out for him versus the number of Mutas that we have here for Rivaille. He's had, like, he was so supply blocked for such a long time, and now he's got 40 Mutas out on the map. I think he can comfortably take this down because he's going to have more in the way of Glaiveworm volleys than I think you'll see from Clairvoyance. But is he going to get that? Is he going to get that force? It looks like yes, he will. It's been forced to cancel, and as soon as it cancels, all the Glaiveworms just dive for the one drone that was on the ground. And it looks as though all the drones in the main are basically mining from one patch, and that was a bit of a favor that we saw Clairvoyance doing Rivaille when he, I don't know how to say it, he just... how do I put this? When he swung by earlier and he killed all those drones that were on the mineral line, because there's almost nothing left to mine there. Those drones are taking up supply anyway. I guess in this kind of context it would make for some form of acceptable losses, but now we have Hydralisks coming into the mix, and that could be a total game changer for Clairvoyance. He's going to get +2 missile attacks. Now we see him like basically finally putting those evolution chambers to work. He did make them in the beginning, but of course his opponent, Rivaille, got the upgrades so much faster, so much earlier on. I want to say that this composition from Clairvoyance is superbly weak versus Banelings. Everything there is light. And if we have +2 melee attacks from our red Zerg, which he does have, then he'll be able to kill all these lings with one Baneling, regardless of the fact that they actually have +1 Carapace. Okay, so basically, and that is the appropriate response we have coming from Rivaille. He's got 150 supply to the 200 of Clairvoyance, and I still think this is one of those games that could go either way. But we're just waiting for that engagement to come. The fourth base is going to be targeted down here by Clairvoyance, and I don't think those Banelings, yeah, they don't have speed. But nonetheless, we are going to see this base fall, but not without heavy losses, I think, from our blue Zerg. Here we go, the big engagement. Hydra's off creep versus Banelings off creep. I think we're going to see those Banelings get a massacre. Oh my god! As we see now, Rivaille has a huge Muta Ball left over. He's going to go back home and try and save his hive from the total destruction. The infestation pit, I don't know if anything was upgraded off of it. It looks like nothing was whatsoever, but altogether the Muta count is still superbly in favor of Rivaille. If he can take that down, all those Mutas, then he's going to get himself so far ahead, he's going to be like, I don't know how to say it. He's the first man on the moon in terms of this Zerg game. This is like the Russians versus the Americans getting to be the first man on the moon. And wait, look at this. Even though he's actually lost his own fourth base, he's in for revenge on his opponent's fourth base. Now wait a minute. This can still go either way. We still have a good deal of Hydras, but the most quintessential, I think, unit for the what's the word I'm looking for? The engagements we're going to see in the near future will have to be Banelings. If we have no Banelings left over from, if we have some more Banelings left over from Rivaille, which he's making more Lings for, I think, and he's going to have +3/+3. I'm wondering just how much damage they can do. Because it's almost unnoticeable versus Marines. It really is. They are strong. I mean, Marines with combat shields, they upgrade themselves so much over the course of the game. +3 combat shields, you know, they can take so much damage at the end of the game. Ooh, but that is such a, I don't know, I guess such a mishandle by Rivaille. But overall, here we go. Drones getting pulled from the main and the natural, getting put onto the fourth. And it looks like, oh, I just wish I could benchmark how much damage those Baneling bursts will do. the acid splash, if you will. But those Hydras, that's a lot of Hydras. And I'm wondering, do we actually have Baneling speed around here? Do we? Yes, we do. We do have it in the game, and it looks like we're going to have a few Zerglings getting thrown at the 4th while we see these Mutas swing around and cause more damage at the 3rd, if not the natural, of Clairvoyance. But Clairvoyance now throwing in the Roaches, that's going to make a huge difference as they will be better tanky, I think you could say, for the Banelings that are going to be out in the near future. It's all going to come down to Micro with the next engagement, basically. And I've seen Idra win engagements with Hydra Roach versus Ling Baneling with simply superior spreads. Ouch, and those drones, they're just... Ow. I mean, I got a theory that, like... forget it. That's going to take too much explanation, and it'll take too much time to explain, but it looks like those drones, long story short, every time they soaked up a huge shot of glaive worms, it just looked like, to me, that they felt it to their souls, even though that happened so much that their body didn't have a chance to feel anything that hurt them. Like jumping into a volcano, you wouldn't feel that. It just happened so quick. Anywho. Ooh, Spore Crawler's in the main, trying to protect that hatchery there, but I think we see Clairvoyance essentially a little bit divided. He doesn't know how to engage this, and this is as we see Ultras entering the battlefield. I don't know what else to say, really. I think Clairvoyance is on a limited time span. He's got some mutas, he just doesn't have enough, and I think the Ultras will act very well. They'll act very strong versus the Roaches. And here we go, the mutas are coming ahead of the rest of the composition, trying to get beautiful engagement points on those Banelings. Not happening! Beautiful surround here by Rivaille, using everything and the mutas, and Clairvoyance is looking like he's gonna lose this engagement as he has nothing left in the way of anti-air aside from other mutas, and mutas versus mutas, well, whoever has more wins, and it looks like the last of them was actually chased into a Spore Crawler with now 3 kills. With that, we see Rivaille pushing back. He's like, I'm gonna kill you, bro. I'm gonna kill you for that early game aggression that you put on me. You've had me on the ropes the entire game, and now that is about to change as I enter Hive Tech, and you will feel the might of the real Swarm. You cannot pretend to be Kerrigan's boyfriend anymore, Clairvoyance. I will kill you now, is what Rivaille has to say. Ultra's now pushing on to... Well, pushing on to creep. Basically, there's no detection here, but I think this doesn't really matter because there's so many mutas here. Yes, I mean, Spore Crawlers can kill mutas in 3 shots, but that doesn't really matter when you've got like 40-something mutas. This has got to be 24, 25, almost 30. Yeah, 30 mutas right now if I hit you. 33, because there's some that slipped me in the production line. And there is the GG from Clairvoyance, belonging to XT Clan. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Breaker. If you guys liked what you saw here today, just go ahead and click on that subscribe button. I'm not going anywhere. I will see you guys next time.